The indigenous peoples of the Americas, also known as Native Americans, Amerindians, or Aboriginal Americans, have a deeply woven history that spans the continents, from the islands of the continental shelf to the vast expanses of land. Their languages, originating long before European colonization, have rich historical roots. However, many have faced extinction in recent centuries due to cultural suppression and demographic shifts. Once non-offensive, the term Indian is now seen as derogatory by many, with contemporary terminology favoring native, indigenous, aboriginal, or peasant community. This reflects broader ideological shifts and the influence of movements like indigenism and Marxism, causing debate between the terms Indian and indigenous. While indigenous peoples are present across most of the Americas, they form a majority only in Guatemala and Bolivia. Countries like Mexico, Peru, and Ecuador have significant indigenous populations, though mestizo communities predominate. Paraguay recognizes Guarani as an official language, reflecting strong indigenous cultural influences. The United States recognizes tribal sovereignty, granting a distinct government-to-government relationship with tribal bodies. The abundance of cultural diversity is marked by numerous languages, diverse traditional garments, and varying customs adapted to distinct American regions. The Chichimecas of Aridoamerica, for instance, developed nomadic lifestyles unlike the settled civilizations of Mesoamerica. Instruments like winds and percussion were prevalent in indigenous music, deeply intertwined with spiritual rituals. Following European colonization, indigenous musical talents were harnessed within religious services, though restricted to certain instruments and roles by the clergy. Agriculturally, indigenous peoples domesticated a vast array of plants. It is estimated that half of the world's crops were originally cultivated by these communities. Notable agricultural practices include mixed cropping systems like the Mesoamerican milpa and Andean chacra, showcasing innovative techniques like terracing and advanced irrigation. Foods like maize, beans, and tomatoes originate from these ancient cultures. They were prolific agriculturists, creating fertile soils like the Amazonian terra preta and techniques such as nixtamalization to enhance nutrient absorption. Crops such as maize, derived from wild teosinte and crucial to global food supplies, attest to their agricultural prowess. Technologically, the lack of domesticable load animals limited pre-Columbian American transport systems. Unlike Eurasia, with its east-west geographical spread facilitating cultural exchanges, the Americas' north-south orientation presented climatic challenges. Despite this, impressive strides were made in areas like Mesoamerican astronomy and the Mayan calendar. The Aztecs' chinampas and the Incas' terraced agriculture exhibited high productivity, supporting large populations. Maize, when introduced to regions like China, significantly boosted local diets and population growth. Linguistically, the Americas boast a collection of over 900 documented indigenous languages. Although many languages have vanished, around 500 still survive, with some having only a few thousand speakers. Linguists have attempted to classify these languages into three major groups: Amerindian, Eskimo-Aleut, and Na-Dene. However, these classifications, particularly Greenberg's Amerindian hypothesis, face intense scrutiny and debate within academic circles. Genetically, indigenous populations in the Americas are primarily of blood group O, unique compared to other global populations. DNA analyses reveal significant genetic uniformity among these populations, affirming theories of migration from Siberia at the end of the Ice Age. Despite the European influences that reshaped the demographic and cultural landscapes, indigenous peoples of the Americas continue to preserve rich, diverse traditions that testify to their historical resilience and cultural vibrancy.